Hey everyone, Sam here. Hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. This is just a quick video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on how to find inspiration for paintings in your local area. Now the reason I say this is because over the years, as I've posted my art to social media and been making YouTube videos, is I've had quite a few people say, oh, there's not that many interesting things to paint in their local area. And where I live at the moment is actually in New Zealand, although I'm currently in Australia. I've been in Australia for the last couple of months over Christmas and New Year. But New Zealand is definitely a painter's paradise. It's full of high mountains, rugged countryside, amazing coastline. So if you're a landscape painter, there's just loads of things to paint. But as I say, I've had a few people say that where they live, there's not many interesting things to paint. And this made me think, actually, as an artist, I can always find inspiration for paintings everywhere. But it reminded me of a podcast I listened to last year, and it was actually my mate Andrew Tischler that interviewed an artist called Joe Paquette, and he paints all sorts of things, lots of landscapes, seascapes, urban scenes, but he also paints what would seem like some of the most mundane everyday things, like for example brick walls next to a railway line or an old industrial building, for example. And he can make beautiful works of art out of these seemingly boring subjects. And one of the things he said was, find the Grand Canyon in your local area and paint it. So what he means by that is, okay, you may not have epic landscapes in your local area, but you can still find something that you can create a really nice painting from. And this is also where, in my opinion, composition comes into play, also your colours and values in the scene that you're painting, so you can really create atmosphere. So composition, definitely something we need to be on top of and learn about, because that really can make a painting as well. And if you want to learn more about composition, or you're new to painting, check out my other videos. I'm always talking about composition in the paintings that I demonstrate. Also made a video on composition. Anyway, aside from that, if you really start looking around, you'll be able to find some interesting subjects to paint. And I'll give you some examples. So where I am in Australia at the moment, I'm staying in New South Wales on the central coast, and there's a lot of bush, a lot of gum trees, she oaks, paperbarks, that kind of thing. And I think it's beautiful landscape, but it's not the same as, say, the epic mountains that you get in New Zealand, for example. But here in the local area that I've been staying in, I have found lots of interesting things to paint. Now, I'll give you some examples. So this is the street that I'm staying on at the moment. It's a typical suburban Australian street. Probably to most people not very exciting, but to me, I found some really interesting things in this street. The houses, these trees, these palms, the telegraph poles, the way the road curves round to the left. And I painted these street scenes on plein air. The last time I visited here was probably about 3 years ago. And I just thought that made a really interesting composition. So there's a couple of examples of how street scenes can make really interesting paintings. And if you want to learn certainly more about painting street scenes or get some ideas, then check out, well, Joe Paquette is a guy. He's a great artist, paints street scenes. Trevor Chamberlain, James Gurney, he paints street scenes in gouache. They're really inspiring. Here's another painting along the lakefront that I'm walking along now. And this lakefront is, well, it's just a lakefront with some grass and next to the bush. Also lots of gum trees and paperbarks and she oaks growing along there. And I see beauty in all these gum trees. I think they're really interesting to paint. I love the bark, it looks beautiful. I love the textures, I love the colour of the foliage, and I found some really interesting subjects to paint, like this one here. I painted on plein air, nice sunny afternoon, and there's some gum trees next to the lake. And then there's this painting I created very recently using gouache, and gouache paint is something that I've been getting into. I just love gouache actually. You can create a masterpiece in a few hours really quickly if you wanted to, and it's really forgiving as well, and you can layer more paint over the top of your existing layers and paint over mistakes if you need to, and the colours are vibrant as well. So gouache is something I've really been getting into. But anyway, I painted this view here of a stand of paperbark trees with some gum trees as well, and I was able to make a really interesting composition with this. Now if you want to learn how to paint this artwork, you should check out my Patreon channel. I've got a full painting tutorial on there on how I painted this, so check that out. But that's just to give you a couple of ideas there for finding inspiration for paintings in your local area. If it seems like there's nothing interesting to paint, there is always something to paint, in my opinion. So check that out anyway. So as I say, just a quick video, just sharing my thoughts there. But let me know, what do you think about inspiration for paintings? Like, what inspires you? What inspires you in your local area? Let me know in the comment section below. Now just before you go, if you want to learn more about oil painting, I'm giving away a free ebook on Introduction to Oil Painting when you sign up to my email list. I'll put the link in the description box below. Also got painting videos for sale on my website, so check that out. Anyway, I shall see you in the next video. Hope you're having a great day and happy painting.